Hey everybody, it's Rob here, and we're back with yet another severe weather update. I have a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. And here, this is the GFS model. We're looking at the 500 millibar height, so this shows us our winds, areas of low pressure. This is sort of our jet streak we've got going on here. Um, and as you can see, I talked about this in the last video that I did, but we're moving out of this more zonal flow and into more of a La Nina pattern where we have these low pressure troughs that come out of the Pacific. And this is what's going to be sparking some of our severe weather. Actually, it looks like we could have a fairly active spring. So yeah, the time frame for this is on the 17th, which would be next week on Thursday. So exactly 7 days from today. And the range we're seeing anywhere from northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas as well. Probably more focused on Louisiana and Mississippi based on some of the models we're seeing. But again, this is still pretty far out. So we don't have it nailed down to exactly where and when as of yet, but we know just within this range right here, we're going to have some severe weather. Now we'll go ahead and demonstrate this as well. This is going to go ahead and look at all of our dew points, and we can see that as of right now, the U.S. is very dry. We have lots and lots and lots of drier air across the entirety of the nation. And we're going to go ahead and move this on. And we can see we start to get some of those dew points moving up into Texas. This is on the 15th, and then up into Wednesday, we do start to get some of those lower 60s into southeast Texas. There could be a chance of a couple thunderstorms down here, but the target as of right now is on the 17th. And you can see this warm sector here covering East Texas, Southeast Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And it even stretches down into Florida, but Florida will not have the wind support for any type of organized severe weather, at least not as of yet. So this is at 18Z, so this is kind of early afternoon. And as we go into later afternoon into the evening hours, we can see that, again, this warm sector is focused really on this Louisiana, Mississippi region. So if we take a sounding from here, we can see just exactly what we're looking at here. So looking at this sounding, we're seeing, you can see quite a lot of lower level shear. We've got some really good directional shear here in the low levels. Upper level shear is, it's all right. And we can look at right here, this plot here, we can see winds start more southerly and move more westerly as they go on with height. So this is a pretty good shear profile. And honestly, if we had some more cape down here, this would be probably a pretty widespread outbreak. But our one inhibiting factor is our cape. Our cape is being severely underdone by this, by the models. I don't know if the cape is going to start to uptrend or if it's going to kind of stay the same. At least right now, we're getting the picture painted that this is going to be a very low cape, high shear environment. If those cape numbers could start to crawl up, though, this could spell a pretty serious outbreak down here in the Mississippi Delta through Louisiana and Mississippi, kind of this whole moisture nose. And I do expect the cape to uptrend a tiny bit, not a ton, but a little bit at least. And just for a point, since this is a week out, we want to see multiple models show some consistency on this. So here's our Euro model, and again on the 17th, it paints almost the exact same pictures. Actually, some spots of some over 70 degree dew points here, and actually it puts the dew points in the 60s even a little bit farther north, stretching all the way up into southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri. So it could be a little bit more widespread than we're seeing on the GFS model, but again, this is still way too far out for us to have an exact idea of what exactly is going to go on. But right now, our main focus is Louisiana, Mississippi. This is our main target. One thing that is kind of inhibiting us, though, is this is going to be a very high precipitation event. And we can see this by our 12-hour accumulated rainfall. So this kind of gives us an idea of how much rain is going to fall. This is from about the end of the 17th going into the early morning hours on the 18th. We can see a lot of rain is going to fall down here in Mississippi. We're getting 1 to 2 inches, 2.5 up to almost 3 inches in some areas. So sometimes those organized updrafts cannot survive a massive downdraft of rain like that. So that's probably our secondary hindrance with this storm. We'll go ahead and take a real quick look at our precipitation. Again, this is not going to be exact, but at least it gives us some type of basis to go off of. So we can see by late morning into the early afternoon, right around here, we've got our low pressure here, which is also going to be bringing a little bit of a winter system on the back end, as these systems usually do this time of year. And we start to get some of our initiation down here through Arkansas, Louisiana, and those become much large and probably much more of a linear storm system as this thing starts to evolve, and we will get lots of rain in areas spreading all the way from Illinois, Indiana, even up into southern parts of Michigan, all the way down to the Mississippi Delta. So that is probably another hindrance we're going to be facing, is that this is going to be a pretty high precipitation event. And if you get a lot of rain, it's hard for those updrafts to stay ventilated and really survive whenever they're being constantly pounded with a downdraft of rain. So, but yeah, that's about all I have for you guys so far. We're just looking at the possibility of at least a relatively regional severe weather event, nearing the possibility of an outbreak if our CAPE values start to trend up over time. And we covered this, like I said, a couple days ago. This was something that was showing up on the models consistently. So if you like receiving severe weather updates like this one, and even winter weather updates, then my best recommendation for you is to subscribe to this channel. I offer just about my most authentic take that I can see on the models as possible. I do things like live stream and weather events. I'm out there chasing in the field, so please, the best thing you can do is like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.